Today I want to talk about what went on, what went right, what went wrong with Oklahoma in its 52-14 skull dragging of West Virginia and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And yes, Oklahoma dispatched West Virginia and Austin Kendall 52-14. And as cool as that is to talk about, it's not as cool as talking about this. Wow. Yeah. That's unfortunate, as they say. Now, the University of Oklahoma released a statement saying no one was, hurt in this unfortunate incident. And because no one was hurt about it, we can all just kind of point and laugh because whether or not a wheel got stuck or what have you, the thing tipped over. And to my recollection, it's the first time that the Schooners actually tipped over since 1993. And that has its own story, including, Cale Gundy getting, we don't need to go into it. You can look it up. Let's talk about what happened other than, the Sooner Schooner tipping over. I feel like that is going to get gift and used every time Oklahoma drops a game that it shouldn't, or anytime that Oklahoma has made the college football playoffs in 3 of the last 4 years. By all means, have at it. We can take it. It's there. Now, I thought Jalen Hurts was freaking awesome. Yeah, so about that thing where I say that he has a hard time throwing deep into his left, he's like, yo, RJ, here's this plate full of crow, for which I'm more than willing to eat. I'm just going to wait until after the season to do that. Might be on a step mill, might not. We'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes. But he had one absolute dime throwing deep to his left to Lee Morris, his last touchdown pass of the game, 46 yards, catch and run. It looked gorgeous. But more than that, Jalen Hurts was 16-17 for 316 yards with 3 tutties, 75 yards rushing with 2 tutties. And that's about as efficient as it gets. As a matter of fact, the 308.5 passer efficiency rating that he put up is the best in the entire nation this year. And it's certainly going to help his passer efficiency rating after last week in the win against Texas. Now, there's a lot that we could say about Jalen Hurts that, is awesome. And I would really like to just lather that out to the offensive line and how they performed. Look, that offensive line is gelling. The run lanes were much better. They were much clearer. You could see Kennedy Brooks had all kinds of time to run. And since we're talking about Kennedy Brooks and the offensive line, he had, 10 carries for 70 yards, but everybody's like, yo, RJ, where's Trey Sermon? Which is going, are we doing that? Are we doing that? All right, I guess we're doing that. Lincoln Riley talked about not Trey Sermon, but perhaps wanting to get all the guys involved in what they're doing, and they only get so many snaps to do that. And here he is talking about that now.
Yeah, we're honestly having probably the most discussions in the offensive staff room right now is just, wanting to use all those guys that we have. And, again, we've had, our snap numbers. I mean, again, we have 59 snaps today. I mean, our snap numbers have been low. Most teams have tried to slow down their offenses against us to try to shorten the game. That's kind of been the flavor of the month here that we've seen as of late, and we've still been making a few big plays. And so, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we really feel like we got 4 really good backs in there, and I know we're going to need them all. We've been through this before and know what's coming. And so, Kennedy did a good job here today. He ended up getting the bulk of the carries, but I really feel like we got. At any point, any of those guys can go off and go be our lead guy in a game. And so we feel pretty good about that room.
So as you can see, it's kind of a good problem to have, as I've been saying, which is they ran 59 offensive plays, all right? They scored 40 was 7 minus 52, RJ. 45 points, on 59 offensive plays. And if you want to count the offensive plays plus the 1 punt block return for a touchdown, which we should talk about, they scored 52 points on 60 plays, which is also just remarkable and awesome. Talking about a team that still averages about 10 yards per play, gets anything that it wants when we're talking about running the football. It's going to be fantastic to see how they continue to develop. CeeDee Lamb, 3 catches, 71 yards. Charleston Rambo, 4 catches, 71 yards, and on for the offense. We know about the offense. Put up 500 yards of offense again. Ho-hum day for them. Defensively, I was much more impressed. Held West Virginia 5 of 18 on third down, which is remarkable, and almost makes it easy to forgive West Virginia going 2 for 2 on fourth down. One was a fake punt for which we saw the punt return team bail too early and forgets that there's this central tenet to being on special teams, especially when your team doesn't have the ball, is that you play defense, right? We call it special teams, call it punt return, but you play defense, which means that you can't bail just as soon as the ball is snapped. So kudos to West Virginia, seeing something there, running a fake punt return, and getting a first down. And then there was the 4th and 6 for 38 yards that Austin Kendall found. Don't really like that either, but it was only the second touchdown of the game and the last touchdown that they would score, particularly against this defense that pitched 3 quarters worth of shutouts, all right? Shut them out the first, shut them out the third, shut them out in the fourth, all right? I should also add for the Heisman voters that watch this channel, of which I know there are some. I'm being super serious with that note, by the way. There are some Heisman voters that watch this channel. Look, my man Jalen Hurts went 16 of 17 for 316, 75 on the ground, 5 total tutties in 3 quarters. Remember that. 3 quarters he did all that in. I don't go 16 or 17 putting chips into my mouth, putting fries into my mouth. It just ain't a thing that I was going to do. But talking about the defense, right, and how horrible I am at just basically sticking food into my mouth like a toddler, it's been wild to watch Alex Grinch turn around this defense, particularly the cornerback play, for which I've said repeatedly is the most improbable turnaround since the invention of the spinning top. Trey Brown, Parnell Motley, they want it all. And when they're in their base coverage, where they're running cover 4, and they're saying basically we're going to man up, right, with safeties, and we're going to give you the read inside. And if you don't have a read inside, you come down and run support. And everything is about getting to the football, and everything is about tackling. They're tackling. They're getting there. Kenneth Murray Jr. had 9 tackles, 1.5 for loss. Deshaun White was running down everything that Kenneth Murray did not. Neville Gallimore is terrorizing people. I mean, that man closes faster than a liquor store in Oklahoma at midnight on Saturday, okay? It just ain't what you want to be, okay? He's running everybody down. A couple times I saw Austin Kendall finish the game 15 of 31 for 182 yards. Saw that man actually force the ball into the stomach of the running back and say things like, well, he didn't say anything, but it felt like he was saying, here, I'm just going to sign the death certificate because I don't want this ball anymore. And I get that there are actually people in the comments of this channel that claim that Oklahoma's defense went easy on Austin Kendall because he's a former teammate. Nah, man. You didn't see the jaw and jaw jacking that I saw from Austin Kendall to guys like Kenneth Murray, to guys like Neville Gallimore. He wanted to smoke. They wanted to give it to him. It was a good day. Good time was had by all. Again, defense. They got a ways to go. Secondary still needs some help, particularly the safeties, but we knew that. But that front 7 is legit, man. 242 yards total offense for West Virginia. 51 yards rushing for West Virginia. Just 51 yards on the ground. Now, West Virginia ain't nothing to write home about. They actually might be a little worse than Kansas, depending on how you want to look at it. But still, you play who you can play. And Oklahoma is 7-0 to start the season. When's the last time you could say that? Give it some thought. Because I believe the answer is 2004. And I also believe that's the last year in which Oklahoma made it through the month of October undefeated. Now they got Kansas State, right? And then they get a bye. So you go to Kansas State for another 11 a.m. kickoff, which we need to talk about because Josie actually put out a pretty cool statement from which I thought, which was, look, we know fans, folks that travel to games, folks that fight traffic, hate 11 a.m. kickoffs, of which I am one. Now, I call myself getting a head start on Saturday morning because 11 a.m. kickoffs for me mean I start my day at about 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning so I get to the gym by 5. 5 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, I'm at the gym. You know what it is. I'm on a step mill for about 90 minutes. I try to get a lift in on Saturdays, but you know how it goes. Usually I try to be at the gym for about 2.5 hours, but that's just me because I'm that kind of a psycho. Patrick Bateman and me, we talk. Now, I call myself good leaving at like 7:30, right? No, because the rest of y'all was right there with me on I-35 in bumper-to-bumper traffic, just trying to get to Norman, trying to get to Memorial Stadium on time. I ended up getting there for the game like many of y'all did, but it ain't fun. You know, it's 9 a.m. and you bumper-to-bumper traffic on Saturday. Don't nobody want that, cuz. And if you're going to have it, let's have it at a normal time like 3 o'clock, like 2 o'clock, right? Get us one of these 6 o'clock kicks, one of these 7 o'clock kicks. To which Fox has said no. Why? Because Fox is trotting out this strategy in which they believe that if they put the high-profile game that they have rights to, primary rights to, at 11 a.m., they're going to have people stick with their network through the rest of the day. And you know what? They're right, according to their metrics. There's a lot of folks that just leave the channel on Fox, regardless of what game it is. I'm a college football degenerate. I'm a surf. If there's a better game on CBS Sports Network, I'm going to find it. ESPNU, ESPN2, ESPN New, ESPN Ocho, ESPN Regular. It don't matter, baby. I'm going to be there. ABC, I got you. NBC, I got you. We got the YouTube TVs over here. We going to make it happen. But apparently, there's some noobs out there that are still tied to their cores that are saying things like, yo, I'm going to just leave it here on Fox because Oklahoma started at 11. Or Michigan started at 11. Or Ohio State Wider started at 11. Speaking of which, we're going to talk about Wisconsin a little bit later on. Probably another upload. But my God. Wisconsin, what are you doing? What are you doing, Wisconsin? Illinois had 2 wins going into that game. One was against UConn. One was against Akron. You know what the combined record of those 2 squads was? 1-13. That ain't no good team, baby. This is you now. It's all you. You can't do nothing to wipe this away. You can go beat Ohio State by 50 next week. You can win the Big Ten championship. You can go undefeated the rest of the way. We still gonna remember this. We gonna remember this because we remembered Purdue dropping Ohio State by 28 last year. All right? Now you lost by 1, but you lost by 1 to Illini. Illini, the worst big team this side of Rutgers, which is saying a lot. Because Rutgers ain't scored but 14 points in Big Ten play, which is the worst since 1943. Now, enough about the Big Ten because I want to get back to talking about Oklahoma and Alex Grinch and what he was doing. Look, I feel like folks try to make football over simple, myself included sometimes, when they say, look, it's about effort and they run these coverages and this is what they do. But if it was so simple, why don't everybody do it? Right? Alex Grinch is getting it done. And I think we need to continue to say that. It's him, it's guys in the back end, it's guys in the front. Going to a 4-man front, spread 3-man front, all of a sudden you get linebackers clean, you get linebackers to be able to make plays. Kenneth Murray Jr. flying around. Kenneth Murray Jr. is better in pursuit than Aaron Paul in Need for Speed. Only like 6 of y'all got that joke, but 6 of y'all that got that joke, y'all are laughing y'all's booty off. So what they got left? Got Kansas State. They tough, but they beatable, right? And you get a bye, right? Then you get Iowa State at home, which is going to be a big day because I think that's Military Appreciation Day down there in Norman, right? And then you get TCU at home, and then you get Oklahoma State, right? Or Baylor. You got to go to Baylor, and then you get Oklahoma State. I might have those switched. TCU and Baylor might have switched. But you know what it is. The stress of the schedule gets a little bit tougher in November, but Lincoln Riley has been undefeated as a head coach in November, and I don't expect that to change because the only thing in Oklahoma's way right now is Oklahoma, and quite frankly, that's been enough in years past. See Iowa State 2017. But I got faith because this team acted like they've been there, and Lincoln Riley was clear about saying that like he did right here.
We handled this week like a team that has some good goals in mind, and understanding that it is a process and it's not about one game here or there, and it's just a constant climb for us. And and then we're a pretty unselfish team right now. A lot of guys rooting for each other, a lot of different guys playing. Some weeks this guy has a big game, some weeks that guy does, some week this guy plays more snaps, some guy that does. I mean, it just, we've been fortunate. We've been able to stay fairly healthy, and we've been able to play a bunch of guys. And so, I mean, I like our makeup now, but we're only as good as that continues. And so that has to continue for us, and the standards got to keep going up and up.
All right, so last note on 11 a.m. kickoffs. You can tell that Lincoln Riley don't like it because Lincoln Riley likes recruiting. And while Bob Stoops used to say we play too many night games, I don't think Bob Stoops was really liking recruiting, especially there toward the end. I don't think he was really into it. Lincoln Riley's into recruiting, and he understands I can't get no kids in here for no 11 a.m. kickoff because I can't get them on a late Friday night flight. That ain't going to hack. Then they got to make a Saturday morning flight early in the morning. That ain't going to happen. It's 11 a.m. kick. What they going to do? Right? Watch Saturday morning cartoons and go to the game? Nah, that ain't what it is. Plus, he was saying, look, we don't know that we're getting 11 a.m. kickoff weeks in advance. We find out about 30 minutes before y'all do. Woo. Fox, ABC, ESPN, they don't care about your feelings. They say what Don Draper says. That's what the money's for, baby. All right, so let's go. Let's see if we can regroup, get back to what we're doing, and then we'll talk about it. And don't sweat the suit. I was trying something new. Maybe we'll stick with it. Maybe we won't. From time to time, I like dressing up. All right. Doses.